The Dallas Cowboys are doing what nobody expected, so we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is, Dallas Cowboys may not start Dak Prescott next season. The Dallas Cowboys defense looks sharp ahead of the upcoming campaign, or at least, that's how Dak Prescott is making them look, particularly Trayvon Diggs and the defensive backs group. The Cowboys starter threw a horrid 3 interceptions in the latest practice, taking his tally to 9 throughout the course of the camp. To make things even worse for him, team owner Jerry Jones recently claimed that backup QB Cooper Rush is looking sharp, which is why NFL analyst Craig Carton believes Prescott could actually lose his starting job. Carton claims that Jones is already putting some pressure on him to deliver, and things obviously don't look good for him right now. Doc vowed to take better care of the football next season, and he's looked terrible throughout training camp, even in practice. Needless to say, Rush is far from a star either, but it's not like the Cowboys fared much worse when Prescott was forced to sit with injuries. Dak's contract doesn't look as bad as it used to because of how much the quarterback market has risen over the past 3 years or so. But even if he were still making top dollar, the Cowboys could be forced to make an uncomfortable decision sooner rather than later, as they have put together a Super Bowl caliber team by the most part, but won't get anywhere in the postseason with Prescott playing the way he's played lately. Even with talks early on in the offseason about Dak Prescott landing a new contract extension, the Dallas Cowboys still have not worked out a new contract with their franchise quarterback. According to Reported, there isn't a solid reason why Dak should not receive a new deal. Cowboys CEO Stephen Jones states that he is working on a plan to extend Dak Prescott, but wants to focus on extensions players on rookie contract first, which kicked off with CB Trevor Diggs landing a 5-year $97 million contract extension recently. Even though Dak threw a huge amount of interception last season, he is still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Dak Prescott has a 61-36 career record and led his team to 4 playoffs games in the last 7 years. Dallas have Dak signed through the upcoming 2024 season, and there are no signs why they won't get a deal done soon. While fans pine for their first Super Bowl in almost 30 years, the Dallas Cowboys have crushed revenue records in the NFL. From an innovative stadium to lucrative sponsorships, the success of Jerry Jones's franchise is unparalleled. According to the latest NFL franchise valuations from Sportico, the Cowboys are worth $9.2 billion, far outpacing the second-place New York Giants, valued at a touch over $7 billion. Jerry's been saying for a long time the Cowboys are worth $10 billion, says Kurt Badenhausen, sports valuations reporter at Sportico. And we are getting there. You can make a good case that the team is worth $10 billion. Not only are the Cowboys the most valuable NFL franchise, they are the most valuable franchise in the world in any sport, easily powering past the NBA's Golden State Warriors, $7.56 billion. Jerry's been a revolutionary in terms of what he's done, Badenhausen says, with the stadium, with sponsorships, with the star. He's recognized the power of the Cowboy brand and has used the franchise as a tentpole to move into all these different areas. So by our count, they're only the second franchise ever to generate more than $1 billion in revenue in 1 year, and profits of $460 million in 2022. But what about winning? Cries the randomly generated AI Cowboys fan I imagined for this report. Wouldn't winning a Super Bowl be a great way to make more money? We had a Sportico event, and we put that same question to Cowboys COO Stephen Jones, Badenhausen says. 25 years, only 4 playoff wins. What would a Super Bowl mean for the Cowboys? And Stephen Jones laughed. And he said, well, we talk about that internally. And he said, I think it might be a 50% bump to our revenue if we were to win a Super Bowl. So that might be an aggressive target. But for the Cowboys, for a franchise that has such a huge following, if they were to break through again and have the success that you saw them have in the mid-90s, people would be rushing to the stores or online to snap up more Cowboys merchandise. The second story is Dallas Cowboys rookie. Deuce Vaughn is impressing the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys opened the preseason in Arlington on Saturday afternoon against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and a group that many people will be watching is the running backs. Tony Pollard, who will be the Cowboys' featured back this season, did not practice on Tuesday due to a personal matter. Head coach Mike McCarthy said Pollard is expected back in Oxnard Tuesday night. One of the options to be Pollard's backup is Ronald Jones. The veteran also did not practice as he recovers from a groin injury. He will likely miss Saturday's preseason game. Jones will also miss the first 2 games of the season due to a suspension for violating the league's performance-enhancing drug policies. That means big opportunity for the smallest player on the roster. Deuce Vaughn, a 6th-round pick and former Kansas State Wildcat, has made quite the impression on the coaching staff. Vaughn, who is only listed at 5'5", can seriously play. "I think Deuce has had a really good camp. His work yesterday was off the charts," said McCarthy. The Cowboys coaches say that Vaughn's versatility to play special teams and offense is a huge asset. McCarthy says he's also shown some decent ability at pass blocking, despite his size. "We all smile when he does pass protect because you talk about the instincts, awareness, and most importantly the footwork to get yourself in position. He has that," said McCarthy. "I've been very impressed." McCarthy went on to say, "Vaughn is pro-ready and has no concerns about him at the pro level." Vaughn, the son of Cowboys scout Chris Vaughn, will have a chance to showcase his skills on Saturday. The running back has played twice at AT&T Stadium when he was at Kansas State. Vaughn says it is his favorite venue from his college days. The Dallas Cowboys are just drawn to headlines. So, of course, training camp was going to be notable. However, there have been a couple of incidents that feel too on the nose for this franchise, such as Trayvon Diggs and Dak Prescott having some words, and Micah Parsons being called out for tackling the QB in practice. When head coach Mike McCarthy confirmed that running back Tony Pollard was absent for training camp for personal business, it would have been easy for fans to worry a bit. That is not necessary at all, though, as the reason for the 26-year-old's 2-day hiatus was revealed on Instagram. "Yesterday was Maui's birthday," Pollard's girlfriend posted Tuesday while announcing the birth of their 2nd child. A more than fine excuse to miss practice and a life-changing moment for Dallas's lead back. McCarthy had already said that Pollard would be rejoining the team at their training camp facility in Oxnard, California, Tuesday night, but fans should expect the 2022 Pro Bowler to be riding high back into practice following his big day. There is a strong chance all of the happiness off the field carries over into the 2023-24 season, based on all the success he enjoyed last year. Although Tony Pollard has never been a workhorse running back, the backfield should largely belong to him, with Ezekiel Elliott being released in March. The third story is CeeDee Lamb, ready to take the next leap as #1 receiver for Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones has already indicated the Cowboys will pay CeeDee Lamb the big money contract he's earned when the time is right. Lamb, entering his 4th season, won't have to worry about finances because sooner or later he'll sign a contract extension that likely averages about $28 million per season. So he can focus on moving from one of the NFL's top 10 receivers to one of the top 5. You won't get much argument from well-versed NFL coaches or general managers if you rank Miami's Tyreek Hill, Minnesota's Justin Jefferson, Philadelphia's A.J. Brown, Las Vegas's Davante Adams, and Buffalo's Stephon Diggs as the league's top 5 receivers. The order doesn't matter. Those 5 receivers averaged 109 catches for 1,592 yards with 10 touchdowns and 24 receptions of 20 yards or more and 6 catches of 40 yards or more. Lamb finished his 3rd season with 107 receptions for 1,359 yards and 9 touchdowns. He's improved each of the 3 seasons since Dallas took him with the 17th pick of the 1st round. He evolved into a #1 receiver last year when Dallas traded Amari Cooper to Cleveland before the season. Now he's ready to make a leap in production that will move him into the conversation of the game's best. "Man, a successful year to me is winning the Super Bowl," Lamb said. "Regardless of what my numbers are, obviously I need 1,000 yards plus. I want a ring." He's talking about a Super Bowl ring, something the Cowboys haven't earned since Super Bowl 30. The Cowboys have made tweaks to their passing game with coach Mike McCarthy in charge after persuading Jones to let him run the offense instead of Kellen Moore, who is now the Los Angeles Chargers offensive coordinator. McCarthy has added elements of the West Coast offense to the passing game. In this offense, Lamb will catch more passes running horizontally across the field, creating more opportunities to run after the catch. Lamb, a good punt returner, is a dangerous open field runner. Lamb averaged just 12.7 per catch, and he was the only player among the league's 22,100-yard receivers without a reception of more than 40 yards. That's odd considering he was among the league leaders with 24 catches of 20 yards or more. "I know that I didn't put my best foot forward. I didn't put my best out there," Lamb said earlier in training camp. Listen, I ain't have Dak a whole season. That's all I'm going to say. In 5 games without Prescott, Lamb averaged 5 catches for 68 yards and scored 2 touchdowns. He did not have a 100-yard game. In 12 games with Prescott, he averaged 5 catches for 84 yards and scored 7 touchdowns with 5 100-yard games. Dak and CeeDee have definitely established an excellent foundation. It's not only what they do on the field, but what they do off the field, McCarthy said. CeeDee has grown in our locker room as a leader. Dak is obviously a leader, so their football connection is very strong. He'll also be surrounded by better players such as Brandon Cooks and Michael Gallup. Cooks, acquired in a trade with Houston, has had 1,000-yard seasons with 4 different teams and remains a big play threat.